Hello everybody, I am Hyper G, he's Lucky Sixes, we're from PTG, Proxy Table Gaming.
PTG!
Nice. Tick that one off the list.
Managed to do that one for a while. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, that one's like been sitting on the shelf, hasn't it? Getting nearer the top, then pushed down by other ones. Finally got it out. Finally got it out.
Whew.
Yeah.
I do need a soundboard to go like the but anyway.
I thought you were using one. Okay, fine.
Well, I know.
You've revealed your secrets.
Yeah. Like that guy, what's that guy from the cop movie?
Oh, Police Academy. I don't know. I haven't watched many of them actually, but yeah,
etc.
We know who you're talking about. Yeah, Awesome. Cool. It's Bat Rep time, Lucky Sixes.
Bat Rep.
Yeah, obviously UB because they've read the title.
UB.
They know. They know. Yeah.
And the Dread Elves again.
Yeah.
Back to play.
Absolutely. I'm Dread Elves on the right hand side, just because thumbnails and all that.
Thumbnails,
yeah.
Remade thumbnails.
Remade. It's against Beast Herds. Now, don't be fooled. It's not Lucky Sixes.
No, not me, mate.
No. This is a person. We've known him for a little while. He's exchanged a few comments on the channel here and there.
Bit of a dick.
I was going to build up to that.
Oh yeah.
But he's getting used to UB because let's face it, real battles not around at the moment, and so wanted to have a game on UB against someone who wasn't really gonna shout him down for being slow. As it happens, this wasn't actually all that slow anyway, so I didn't actually notice anything from how he played. He played like he played UB for a while, so it wasn't at all a slog. So I'll say that right from the off. But who is it? It's Tommy T!
Tommy T!
The man. And man, has he followed the channel for a while.
Good old mate.
Yep. And
good old boy.
He's trolled the comment section for a long, long time on every video we've ever done. And we thank him for that because, it's very constructive.
We wouldn't have it any other way.
No, we wouldn't. But I'll tell you what, as we've got to know Tommy, he's a real teddy bear in disguise, really, isn't he? So,
True farmer gent.
Yes, absolutely. And he's playing Beast Herds. He said right from the start he isn't massively happy with this list, but he was just sort of like getting into UB really before he started taking it seriously. And this is just a list that he's put together fairly quickly. And I'm testing out Dread Elves, of course. So let's see how we do, really. Frontline Clash, easy enough. I think we did roll it randomly. It wasn't just trying to be simple for UB. It was literally Frontline Clash. And Breakthrough came up. And obviously Breakthrough, Beast Herds, he has a couple of units of ambush, as you'll see in a minute.
Ooh, yeah.
So that's handy. I don't think there's any objectives other than Breakthrough and Beast Herds that massively gives a huge advantage to a particular army, is there? I mean, obviously, if you take 10 scoring units, then Spoils of War is probably maybe good chance you're going to get it.
But then Hold the Centre is really good for like the more heavily armoured stuff and stuff. It's more obvious.
Yes, that's what I mean. Breakthrough and Beast Herds is definitely a more obvious one, isn't it?
Yeah.
And speaking of the ambushing units, let's have a little look at Tommy T's list. You'll love it because it's got 2 Gortax in it, and I mean, you have
already a
Gortax, so
I want them to be good so much.
I think a lot of people do because the models are lovely, aren't they? You can get a lot of different varieties of good beasties for Gortax. But anyway, starting from the top, we got the Minotaur Warlord General with Agor's Affliction, paired weapons such as Grain, its Crown of Horns. I think that's a fairly common-ish setup for the Minotaur Warlord. He's just basically a wrecking ball, isn't he, really? Not too much,
I mean, Blessed Inscriptions is normally up there, but...
Oh, sure. Yes, of course, rather than Touch of Greatness, I guess, yeah. Soothsayer Wizard Master Druidism. Druidism.
Yeah, you have to do it, though, man. You have to do it.
Yeah. And Dark Rain was immediately wasted against my Dread Elves.
Sure,
so 80 points. I'm already winning. Inscribing Burin, I think that's something to do with forests.
Yeah. It was,
Is it magic resistance in the forest or something?
Oh, I don't know actually. It's Seed of the Dark Forest is you get a forest.
Yeah, I think inscribing
so I don't know.
Is something like magic resistance in forests or something or other.
Was it +1 to cast when you're in a forest, maybe?
Either way, those two items, they combine to make, if the soothsayer is in a forest,
with a forest,
and other units are in the forest, they get magic resistance. So
right.
Yeah.
Put it in the comments, Tommy. Right?
Yeah.
Not describing your list. All the details.
Yeah, come on. Why do we have to know all these other people's lists?
We should have got him on. Next time you come. Next time, Tommy, you're coming on.
We should. We didn't even invite him. How rude of you.
We didn't actually. That's why he's not here, folks.
Beast Chieftain BSB, Greater Totem Bearer. Just got a job to do really. 3 raiding chariots, pretty decent. Wild Horns, 2 units of ambushing units, so that's cool.
It's good, cool.
Mongrel Raiders, just to complete his core. 5 Minotaurs, I always think that's just not enough, personally. But
2 units of 5 might be.
Yeah, sure. And they've got a Totem Bearer as well. Razor Tusk Chariot, which is Pumba Chariot, as according to Tommy. So I don't know, a lot of people call it that.
It does give plus to charges, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So that's good.
Definitely. Unit Gargoyles with Scout, and then another unit of Gargoyles just without Scout, and then 2 Gore-Tax. So nice list. And then there's my Dread Elves, which is in fact the exact same list that I played against Dantiri with. No changes at all, mainly because this battle was started on the night that I was also playing against Dan. So I literally just went straight from one battle to another.
It's good.
Didn't actually play this battle on that night, but started it that night. So yeah, anyway, that's details.
Dual battles.
Yes, sort of
at the same time.
Crossing over. So it's just the Warlock outcasts and 2 Templar Gate setups. I've been through this in the Dan list, so I'll skip through it a bit quicker.
Yeah.
Mask of the Warcrow, Scepter of Power, Book of Alchemy on the Book of Arcane Mastery on the Alchemy.
Book of Alchemy, that'd be a wicked item.
Book of Alchemy, yeah.
That'd be an awesome item. It gets quick lash. That'd be fantastic. Do it, Night Veg.
Yeah, awesome. Homebrew from Lucky Sixes. My core is the standard 29 Temple Militants with Rending Banner. Judicators, Harpies, Divine Altar, Crucible of Slaughter. We're actually recording this on the day after the Dread Elf book has been changed.
So
this is pre-update. So
this might be like a week before. So
something like that. So this is all pre-points.
But
obviously now we're recording.
So it's gone up about 1,000 points. Hasn't
it?
So.
Oh no, tell me about it. Kraken, Hydra, Miss Leviathan. My triple.
Is that exact core?
It's slightly over, but if you take out 1 Temple Militant, it's slightly under. So it's really close to being.
How much is it extra militants?
Testing, Don't know.
21, you say?
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
It's 20 something anyway.
Yeah, I could look. I
know the unit is 569. There you go. How about that? Both units 569 each. So
nice.
I know that much. Anywho, that's that. Shut up. Silly questions.
Shut up. Yeah.
Here is deployment. I believe that Tommy dropped for first. Getting on with it, Mr. Tommy T.
I like it.
Yeah, so he's got a Gore-Tac out the bottom left. The Gargoyle Scout top left. Normal Gargoyles in his deployment. Then the Minos with the Chieftain and the Warlord. Pumba Chariot alongside the Raiding Chariots. Another Gore-Tac on the right-hand side. And the Mongrel Raiders with his Soothsayer in the middle.
Yeah.
And basically he said right from the off, I'm going to rush you and fuck you up. All right. I put down, obviously at the top, Temple Militants on the left. That's my BSB with Divination, because I wanted to basically do Fate's Judgment, which I am
that
taking.
Guy right on the left.
Yeah, the one with the little flag on the side. She just wants to Fate's Judgment that Gore-Tac and kill it in 1 or 2 goes, basically. Hopefully, is the plan. Miss Leviathan is within 8 inches of all my infantry to give the +4 march on the first turn.
Yep.
Divine Altar in the other militants in the middle, Harpies behind, Judicators in the outcasts just on the hill, but not actually benefiting from the hill. Hydra on the far right, and Kraken just on the hill as well. I didn't like my deployment right from the off. I basically put it down, and then after I put it down, we were like beginning to start the first turn. I was like, I've deployed really badly, and I will tell you for why. The BSB on the left-hand side, the divination girl, she has the Mask of the Warcrow, which means that anything of mine with fear gets to reroll ones to wound. That's fine for her unit, obviously, because her unit causes fear because of that item. But what other models of mine cause fear?
I'd imagine it's the two big old beasties.
On the opposite flank.
Yeah.
Well, I was just like, what are you doing? That's just so stupid. You know.
You idiot.
Totally not using that item correctly. What else? Oh, yeah, and also, I was whinging about my Judicator deployment against Dan being 7 wide.
Yeah.
7 wide.
It's because you loaded up, right?
It's because they're loaded up as a template on UB,
yeah.
so yeah, I did it again. So, oops. Okay, never mind. So turn 1, Tommy. He moves up a bit, not massively aggressively. Gortak's moving out, fanning out. His gargoyles moving up into my deployment zone. And yeah, he's just moving up a bit. He gets his Soothsayer into the forest to get that +1. There's quite a lot of magic resistance on the chariots, I think, because of the forest or that Burin item, whatever it is.
Yeah, sure.
One thing actually from the last picture, you can't see it in this picture because the Pumba chariot's on it. But I was aware, and I think Tommy was probably aware too, that his forest that he dropped, the brown one, is supposed to be not touching any other forest, and technically it overlaps the green forest.
Sure.
But this was a relaxed game, and none of us really cared about that.
Yeah.
I only noticed it personally when I looked at the pictures. So, but you don't need to put it in the comments; it's fine.
Or do and we'll ignore you because you're an idiot.
I'm the idiot for letting him cheat. No, not really. It's fine. It's fine. It's all good. What happened? Magic-wise, we have Oaken Throne goes up. And what is that? Is that
Waking Druidism 1, Healing Waters.
Yeah, absolutely. Healing Waters.
Boom, 4 up because of Oaken Throne. Got it. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Smashed it.
I knew that Fate's Judgment was going on the Gortak for one of my spells, and I also knew that Ice and Fire was in range of any of those 3 units. So whatever he put Healing Waters on, I was just not going to target it, basically, is the plan.
Okay.
So I just was fine with those 2 coming off. I can't remember what I stopped, but it wasn't anything too important. So cool. Let's see. Oh yeah, my turn 1. Sorry, something in the eye. I actually managed to get the Hydra. You can't see it because we're over it. Let's go in the bottom left corner. I managed to get the Hydra out of line of sight of his Gortak on the right.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. And actually Jack Austin, who was in Discord chatting to us during the time, he said, literally as soon as I moved it there and checked that it was out of line of sight, Jack Austin said to Tommy, because, Tommy is a heckler, but Jack decided to heckle. It was quite funny. Jack said, that's a bit of an oversight there, isn't it, Tommy? But before you get on Tommy's back too much, just hold off for a moment, okay? Just hold off. Hold off, Jack. Hold off.
Get off his back, yeah?
Yeah, just
get off his back, Jack.
Just leave that for a minute. Just leave that.
Stop it. Chill out.
Also,
that was your birthday, mate.
Yeah, it was actually. Yeah,
it was.
Well, it was everyone's birthday at some point. You'll actually notice in my turn 1 as well, I actually failed a charge with the militants on that Gortak on the left, which is why I hadn't moved all that far.
What was the charge?
I think it was actually only in 9 inches. Tommy actually teased me to go for that one.
Bring it on.
Yeah, he did. I'm not entirely sure he would have been very happy if I made it, but I rolled like a 3 and a 1, so I wasn't even close.
Sure.
There's that. You'll also notice I didn't really use my +4 much from the Mist Leviathan at all, really. I decided that he had a combat army, neither of us had a lot of shooting. I actually had more magical range. His only range really was Master of Earth, I think. He didn't really have a lot of else damage-wise, so I decided I didn't have to rush it. Obviously, breakthrough is a factor, but with I needed to get through his units in order to get to breakthrough. So I figured there wasn't much point in letting him charge me.
What's your thinking with Leviathan? This is something I asked when I came on at some point.
Yeah. No, my thinking with the Leviathan, he's facing towards the right. Basically, it's to discourage Tommy from just putting a unit of ambushing Wildhorns behind my militants or Judicators.
Okay.
But obviously, he could put them directly behind the Harpies, and still probably cause a bit of damage, and it would still be too far away for me to charge. But I didn't want them directly behind my units.
Okay.
So that was why my Leviathan didn't have a role at this time.
Yeah.
What would you have thought? Send them?
Because I didn't know whether you were going to point him towards the Harpies and hope they fail a
Gargoyles.
Or something.
Yeah.
Gargoyles, yeah.
Sure. No. Yeah. I wasn't worried about the Gargoyles at this stage. They're going to chaff me at some point. So
yeah.
They can just fly over. So that was the thinking. Magic-wise, despite the magic resistance, I managed to get Ice and Fire off on the Chariots, do 2 wounds. He dispelled Fate's Judgment on the Gortak, so that's all I could do with magic. Into Beast Herds, turn 2. One of his ambushers came on, and maybe like my Leviathan scared him off because he went right in the top left corner.
Yeah, just get a breakthrough.
Basically, it's just there for breakthrough. Fair enough. Scoring unit in my objective.
He's only got 3 scoring, hasn't he?
Yes, Minotaurs and those 2. So
yeah.
And obviously, if the Minotaurs are getting to my deployment zone, it probably means something's gone wrong for me. So
yeah, big time.
So I said to hold off on the oversight that Tommy made about letting my Hydra get out of line of sight, because look what I managed to do. That Gortak is out of line of sight of my Hydra and my Kraken.
That's a bit of an oversight, mate.
That's a bit of an oversight, isn't it? You really would have thought, having heard Jack's comment, that I would have made sure that couldn't happen.
You're just so casual.
So casual, we were just having fun, man. He got stone skin off on the Chariots, and silly me, because Oaken Throne was still up, he manages to recover a wound on the Chariot because of it.
Yeah. No, you can recover its raise, isn't it? If its Oaken Throne is up.
Oh, sure.
So you can recover on multi-wounds anyway.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It's just if one of the chariots had gone and everyone else was on full, he couldn't raise another chariot.
You are correct. Yeah. So I would have had a job to have stopped all of the druidism spells, to be honest.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
But anyway, yeah. Into my turn 2, because he chaffed my militants in the middle with the unit of gargoyles. I charged them because why not? And I had the Harpies who could just fly up and basically chaff all 3 of his combat units. I was aware that I was leaving a potential overrun with the Minotaurs into the militants. But I figured that Minotaurs, I think, are agility 4 on the charge. I'm agility 5 off the charge. So yes, they would have impact hits. There'd be 2 impact hits from the 2 Minos and D3 from the Warlord. I figure my militants are going to mince them up. And obviously, in Magic, I planned to boost them a bit as well, just to defend myself against that. But I was happy with, chaffing all 3 of his units as well. That's what Harpies are there for, really. What I did to counter the Gortak was basically move my Judicators a little bit to be bait. Frenzy bait, basically, on the Gortak. I don't like the idea of a Gortak in the flank. I'll be honest, that's not fantastic. But at the same time, I figure I can just take a bit of damage on the first turn and then reform, slice them up with my Judicators and/or charge my Kraken and my Hydra in. So I was prepared to offer up a few Judicator lives for that to counter the fact that I really messed up my monsters in the previous turn. So
your BSB's all the way out on the left.
Yeah, they march all the way up forward, chasing after the Gortak. The Gortak moved back, basically. And yeah, my BSB's all the way on the left, and not great placement for my actual BSB model. Why is she on the bottom left corner as opposed to the bottom right corner? That just doesn't make a lot of sense. And I get Perception of Strength off on the militants, which is obviously what I plan to do. Glory of Gold or Perception of Strength, just one or the other. This makes them Strength 5, so nice.
Does it give +1 Strength and AP if they get a spell off?
No, just 1 Strength.
Just plus Strength.
So Glory of Gold would give
It's great, yeah.
+1 strength, +1 AP, and the rest. Perception of strength gives +2 strength, +1 AP. So
you shouldn't have access to that if you've got them. That should be a thing. That's great. That's
that
really
hasn't
good,
changed
really good.
Yet, so
no,
yeah, there you go. Cool. Yeah, I think that was that for my magic. I didn't get any damage spells off. Again, he stopped Fate's Judgment on the Gortax, so Gortax living without any damage.
Yeah.
Into Tommy's turn 3. We were rattling through it at this stage because there wasn't any shooting or anything to hold us up. Declared a charge with the Pumba Chariot onto the Harpies. Initially, Tommy thought that he could charge the Harpies to get an overrun into my militants, but turned out because the Minotaurs were not moving, he couldn't actually do that without getting 3 Harpies in. He had to get 3 Harpies in to maximise, and couldn't do it with the Minotaurs being where they were. So, but what he did do is he declared a charge with his Minotaur Warlord out of the Minos into the militants.
Yeah, man.
And it didn't take me long to realise that was a little bit scary. So, yeah, we're going to have to see what happens there. I'll probably explain a bit more as to why that's scary.
Did you intentionally leave him on?
No, I did not. No, Tommy said, I think you've made a bit of a mistake here, staff. And I thought, oh, what mistake? Because I was fairly sure I could handle Minotaurs. So what possibly could I have made a mistake over? And he said, you can see where the Minotaur is in the unit. He literally just moved forward past the Harpies and then a slight wheel. He's easily in there. I didn't even consider it, so I didn't see it.
With hindsight, would you have?
No. There's a roll coming up that is extremely important. So, yeah. The other thing that happened in the Beast Herd's charge phase is that the Gortak on the right that was being frenzy baited actually failed its frenzy test and was forced to go in to the combat, except it rolled a 1 and a 2 for its charge. So,
which is exactly...
They're not so sure. And that's exactly the amount they needed to stay out of line of sight of my Kraken and my Hydra. So
it's a bold move.
It's again pretty poor placement from my Kraken and my Hydra, because I suppose I should have made it so that there wasn't any way that he could be frenzy baited and stay out of line of sight. Because that would be the ideal solution if he fails that. If he's frenzy baited, fails a charge, then I counter with both my monsters.
I guess if he fails a charge, you got to expect he rolls low, though, right?
Apparently. Yeah.
Well, if he rolls high, he's in. So.
Well, 7 or more, he's in. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you'd expect him.
So it's totally my fault. It's totally my bad play on the monsters again. He moves his chariots back, not ready to declare the charge with them. My Hydra can't see them, though. In this angle, it really looks like they could, but they definitely couldn't. Hydra can't see the chariots. So, and he moves his other gargles, onto the hill to chaff the Judicators. I wasn't entirely sure what they were chaffing, really. What the danger is there.
I guess charge on the chariot. Although I did think, I said this at the time, maybe over text years, when he had gone out for a drink, actually.
Behind his back.
Either way, it's behind his back. That's the message I was trying to get. But if it had just overrun with his with his chariot, he gets the same effect. Because he's stopping any sort of counter charge into the Minotaur, isn't he? That's why he's doing that. But the chariot will do that anyway, so I think it's a bit of a waste of chaff.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how that turns out. He gets stone skin off on the Pumba chariot for when it eventually runs forward. I think a few of his things weren't in range of. I think I probably stopped things on the Minotaur Warlord, to be honest. And Oaken Throne, I think I got rid of it, then he put it back on, that sort of thing. So he killed my Harpies, or killed 6 of them anyway, and that was enough to make them break. He overrun and killed them. And the reason why, I won't click the next picture just yet, the reason why the Minotaur Warlord into the militants is actually quite scary is because he's going to declare a duel. To try and reduce the amount of attacks on me, or get rid of my Discipline 9 general, who would have to decline the duel, basically. And then I'd only have Discipline 8. But unless I get all my attacks, and I can't, I could have I suppose I could have refused the duel, but then I would have been discipline 8 and he could have minced me up a bit and I might not have done too much back to him. But the issue is that with the challenge, with the duel, he kills the champion and I have to accept with my champion to avoid going down to discipline 8. And he's going to win that combat by the fact that I haven't got rank bonus because I'm in line formation. And he's going to get an overkill. He's going to be like 5-0 up and I've got a standard. So I wouldn't win the combat at all. And then I've got a discipline test, and I haven't got a BSB nearby because of my really bad placement. So I am on a 9 still because I'm fearless, so that helps.
Yeah,
but it's straight up a 9 break test, and that is still failable. So just by losing a champion, scary. Fortunately, he kills the champion, and I pass the test.
There you go. What are you worried about?
Whew. But yeah, really poor placement on my BSB, definitely. And there's that. The chariot overruns to that position there, which isn't quite enough to chaff the adjudicators properly. But like you say, what are they really going to charge other than the chariot? Maybe if the gargoyles.
It would have chaffed them from going into the Minotaur, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean it's quite a way. I don't think I was quite on the hill, so I wasn't getting my reroll. But yeah. I suppose the gargoyles have now chaffed me from getting into the chariot.
No, but you could have saw the Lord, couldn't you? Could have seen.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I could.
With the adjudicators,
I would have been able to get the Warlord with the adjudicators in the flank. Yeah, correct. Because I was on a hill, so I could see him over the divine altar. Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. I decided. I think in his turn 2 as well, his other ambusher unit has come on and gone in the top left. I don't know if I mentioned that as well. So they're both claiming the objective, which is concerning for me.
2-0. Bro.
Problems. I moved my adjudicators on the left. The Gortak was just running around, passing frenzy tests and just getting out of their line of sight. And I just thought, I've got to do something about these scoring units. So at this point, I was actually tempted to have the militants on the left basically go towards those 2 scoring units and kill them. And the only way he could stop that was by putting his Gortak in the way as a speed bump. So that was my thinking at this stage. Whether or not that's how it turns out, you'll have to wait and see. So I charged the gargoyles on the hill. I did actually, at the end of the last combat, I combat reformed my militants to be in to get rank bonus because I didn't need to be line formation really anymore, and I wanted to make sure I won the combat because even though my BSB is in 12 inches of them now, I still would rather get a few attacks in, basically. Cool. What else? Oh yeah, my Hydra just moves up. He can see the chariots. And my Kraken just moves behind the Gortak in case the Gortak wants to go for it again, basically. But I'm not massively happy with my monster movement on the right, really. Not doing overly well. I get Perception of Strength and Know Thine Enemy on the militants, which is amazing. Plus Cold-Blooded on the break test if I have to use it. So that's nice. So
that's effectively plus 3 strength.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Nice, bro. Plus 3 strength? Why plus 3? Plus 2.
Get plus 2 for the spells. Both spells. And then...
Oh, yeah, sorry, it is plus 3, yeah. Both spells
then one for
plus 1.
The actual spell, yeah.
Yeah, 100%, you're right, yeah. Yeah, it's catching up. Yeah.
Plus 3 strength, plus 1 AP.
Yep. Yeah. And I've got a Rending Banner if I want it. But
and you've got Rending Banner.
He fails all his armor saves. So
he's got no armor.
Yeah.
This guy's never heard of armor.
Well, of course, he had to stop Glory of Gold because that would have gave me flaming attacks.
Yeah.
And that would have been his only save. So. And you'll notice the Warlord is gone. Literally.
Brutal.
Sliced and diced. I believe I declined the duel because I didn't feel I needed my Discipline 9 this time round. With the 3 ranks, the standard, I was already 4-0 up from that. And by declining the duel, I could slice him up with all those militants, really. and they were all like strength 6. So
But you killed him, right? In this point,
I killed him outright. Yeah, before he even.
So
attacked.
if you'd have done it before, then you would have had more attacks.
That's what I thought. If I'd have done that the first time round, the only difference was I was strength 5 the first time round rather than strength 6.
Yeah,
and he was res 5 because of the altar. So
yeah,
there were factors that I mean, either way I wouldn't have had my general fighting because he was either declined the duel or whatnot. But
yeah,
it did occur to me that this time round I killed him. Could I not have just killed him the first time round? But he had impact hits and that was adding to combat res as well. So
it's not combat res, is it? You just need to kill him.
yeah. Maybe I could have done the turn earlier.
But you're right with the strength. Well, you being strength 6 is different.
Strength 6 makes a difference. Yeah, definitely. And I think what was it? He has a 4-up fortitude. Obviously, I think he had like 16 saves to make or something ridiculous.
It was mental. Man.
It might not have been exactly 16. I mean, how many attacks have I got? I've got 2 in the front. Plus
you had 15 attacks.
5, 14 attacks, I think. Yeah, so I think battle focus did do really well. And then I was wounding on 2s because I was strength 6 against res 5. No, it would have been 3s. It would have been 3s because +1 to wound it wasn't in the second round of combat. But I rolled really well. So yeah,
bro,
it was crazy. What else is going on? The gargoyles are dead from the Judicators, and the Pumba Chariot fled from panic, which is quite funny. I think it actually fled from the Warlord dying as opposed to from the gargoyles dying, actually. But either way, they fled from the nearest unit. I think that's about that. Tommy gets the charges out. Look at this. Here he comes. He's lost his general, so he's going for it, basically.
So the reason you didn't give him a front with your Gortak with your Judicators was because you wanted to keep the Minos in the front, right?
Yeah. I didn't want the Minos in the Judicators flank. Yeah. It was a choice between... The Chariots are always going to be in the front, obviously, but I couldn't get the Gortak and the Minotaurs in my front. I mean, it's still not great if all 3 of them charge my front, because there's a lot of impact hits there. Well, and death. But yeah. So this isn't quite as good as giving the Judicators as a bait for the Gortak's flank, because the Chariots are coming in the front. So on the left, he decides to send in the Gortak and hope that the Minotaurs get like a 10 or 11 to get in their flank. And I mean, if they get in the rear of the militants on the left, that isn't great for me because I haven't got many attacks coming back at them, and I haven't got the Divine Altar. So
and you haven't got the magic on them.
I haven't got the magic on them. So yeah, that's a bit concerning actually, and not something I saw either. So I'm not sure I could have done much about it because my harpies were long dead. But anywho, he fails the charge with the Minotaurs. Thank Christ.
Whew.
But he gets in with the Chariots, which is a shame because I think they needed like a 9 or a 10. Because that wasn't a small distance either.
Was it 3d6 plus 3?
3d6.
Strength 5 impact hits.
Yeah. I think it's actually just 3d6 rather than the +1.
Okay,
for the
they're not Goblin Chariots, sorry.
No, get it right. Goblin Chariots is a special unit. Come on. So there's that. Yeah, and the Gortak's obviously in the front of the militants, but I'm not worried about that at all. Without the Minotaurs in the back, that Gortak's dead. So that's all
crazy. It's crazy that he can be so nonchalantly dead.
Absolutely, yeah, 100%. Against a base strength 3 unit as well, but he's dead. I got a newfound respect for Druidism because I had real trouble knowing what to dispel in this situation. He had Stone Skin, the +3 agility, and Healing Waters all available to him on that Chariot unit.
Yeah.
And I didn't want Healing Waters on for Fortitude. I decided that wounding on 5s was better than wounding on 3s, but with a 4-up Fortitude, basically. So I let Stone Skin off. The +3 agility didn't matter too much because it wasn't in range of the Gortak. So the Gortak was attacking after my Judicators.
Yeah, it's only on like 6 attacks, isn't it?
Yeah, it's only on the Wild Horns on the Chariots. It's not actually on the Longhorns who have the Great Weapon. So
yeah.
Yeah, so I had to let Stone Skin and +3 agility off.
Yeah, it's like Druidism isn't actually bad. It's just
It's fine when you combine the
Spell,
effects.
innit?
You know, all 3 of them together made me have to let 2 of them through, basically, because I couldn't let Healing Waters off, especially as he already had Oaken Throne up pre-turn, and I hadn't got rid of it at the start. So I was a bit slack with getting rid of Oaken Throne, to be honest. It was like an afterthought. I really should have paid it more attention.
Yeah.
You know, for the sake of 1 dice, when sometimes your opponent's using 2 dice to cast it, losing 1 dice isn't actually that bad to get rid of it.
Yeah, sure.
So there's that. The Pumba Chariot rallies as well. His Mongrel Raiders shoot a Temple Militant.
It was in there.
I promised I'd take a picture.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Moral victory.
Absolutely.
Oh!
Moral victory, speaking of. That Judicate unit is no longer there, obviously,
Sorry,
or
mate.
what's left of it.
That is, unfortunately, that's not a moral victory. That is an out-and-out
Smashing.
decapitation.
That is the amount of Judicators that died in combat. I did 7 wounds to the Chariots, which is actually pretty respectable, wounding on 5s. But yeah, I think he rolled 13 impact hits.
So many.
With the
it's
Chariots alone, and a fair few more with the Gortak. And yeah, it was just brutal. Absolutely brutal.
Gortak gets D3, I think.
D3, yeah.
And then I think like the Gortak
so.
has Battle Focus as well. He rolled like 3 6s or something.
Yeah, I mean, you jumped in to look at this a little bit, didn't you, actually? So you remember.
Yeah. Oh, it was brutal. It was brutal.
It was. Yeah, so killing a Chariot was the only saving grace, but honestly, it was a no contest there. Really no contest. He overran into the side of my militants. The Chariots they were both pursuing towards the bottom left, basically. So the Chariots had to go forwards, so they didn't get into the militants. Which I suppose was good.
Perpendicular to the thing, don't you?
You can see where the Judicators were. I left them on for this picture so you could see it, basically. But yeah, Judicators are gone, and Outcast is gone. So that's my Wizard Master gone, and a fair few points. So I don't like that at all. That's not great for me.
Wizard Master... Is the Wizard Master the general?
No, she is not a leader. She can't be the general.
Okay.
The general's in this unit of militants.
Sure.
So.
Fair play.
Over to... I think that's actually just a end of...
Yeah.
Oh, that's after killing the Gortak. My militants on the left killed the Gortak.
Yeah, for 3.
Yeah, the impact hits, he rolled maximum impact hits, killed 3, and that was it. That was all she wrote. Yeah.
Well, so you're 8 wide. You got like a bunch of attacks, but you've not got any of the special stuff, and you still kill him.
It was actually my Temple Militant, my BSB, has 4 attacks and did 4 wounds.
Legate.
Did 4 wounds out of 4.
So what's he equipped with?
She was wounding on 5s, and she rolled 5, 5, 6, 6. And she's AP1. Not that it matters for a Gortak.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, she was hitting on 2s. She was wounding on 5s, and she wounded with all 4. So yeah, nice.
Brutal.
And then the girls just had to do 2 wounds to finish it off.
Yeah, so they've got battle focus and do they have hatred?
No, they were hitting on 2s though. Oh no, they were hitting on 2s, and they were wounding on.
Got to be 6s still. Oh, 5s because of +1 to wound.
5s, and they were re-rolling their 1s because I caused fear.
Oh.
So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was a no contest, even having only to do 2 wounds. I think they did like 9 or 10, something like that. So.
Oh man.
It wasn't 9 or 10. I was wounding on 5s, but still.
As if Gore-Tex has no chance against a core infantry.
Yeah. If it hadn't been for his impact hits, he wouldn't have done anything to me.
Insane.
Yeah,
That's
crazy.
insane.
It's crazy. Yeah. So into my turn 4. So I declared a charge with the militants into the chariots. I did wonder whether he would flee. But at this stage, I had my Hydra and my Kraken on the right-hand side, so I could have quite easily just charged him back into the middle and pinballed him around a bit. So Tommy decided to hold with the chariots just so he could have control over where the fight was, basically, which I think was the right call, probably. The chariots weren't going to survive whatever they did, really. At least this way, he's potentially got a charge with his Minotaurs if he wants it. If he wants it.
If he wants it.
Yeah,
They don't want it.
No. The other thing I really did was If the chariots had fled and they had been bounced around or whatnot, then I would have had an easy charge into his Minotaurs, and then he wouldn't have got impact hits. And by now, Tommy is definitely realising that militants on the charge, well, militants full stop, are just nasty. So, there's that. I launched my plan of objective winning, or hoping to do something about the objective.
Yeah.
And move the Leviathan up to the top left. My Leviathan causes terror. Those 2 Wildhorn units are leadership 7.
Yep.
He wounds on 6s because I'm res 5, and I don't have any armor save at all. But the plan is basically to hopefully cause those units to.
Yeah, he's like hitting on 5s as well, isn't he? Whatever.
Yeah, so that's the plan, and that was the only way I could see of stopping him getting 2 scoring units in my objective zone. So I launched that plan. Magic-wise, I've now lost my outcast, so I've got no access to Cosmo, which actually hurt me quite a lot because I just had 2 adepts left. Both were in combat, and both had a missile spell each. So I actually only had 2 spells to cast.
Yeah.
I did get No Thine Enemy off, though, on the militants at the bottom. Obviously, he has to stop Glory of Gold. That's the best one to stop, and he did.
Yeah.
But as it happens, No Thine Enemy is still pretty useful because it means I get an attribute spell on the other militants fighting the Gortak in the flank. So.
Yeah, both of them are good, at least.
Yeah. I wasn't massively happy with where I put my Hydra here. He's in front of the Raiders. I was just going to use a breath weapon. But as it turns out, this was a bit silly, which you'll see in a minute. My Hydra really was not doing a whole lot. But Hydra does kill 5 Mongrel Raiders. They pass their panic. In fact, Beast Herd Soothsayer has a rule that means they automatically pass panic. I've actually read the rule. I don't think
that might be the item. Is it his rule?
No, it's just his rule. It's just in the Soothsayer rule. I think we actually played it wrong because I think in order to pass the test automatically, you're supposed to take a wound on your character. And I don't think we ever had a wound marker on him. You might see it in future.
Oh, he did say that. I think I was there at this point. He did say he takes a wound.
Okay, well,
but you just didn't put it on. Clearly.
Maybe. I mean, the pictures might completely do me wrong now. He might have a wound on him.
Yeah.
So we'll see in a minute. He hasn't yet. But it doesn't matter.
That's Photoshop for you.
Absolutely. Prove myself right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Combat-wise, the Gortak kills a whole lot of militants. It gets impact hits and it swings. I've only got a few models attacking to the flank, and I didn't do any wounds to it, which was a bit weird because I actually had +1 to wound at that stage. So I was wounding on 5s. Just didn't. Militants whiffed. Who knew? But yes, managed to pass my break test, and we had a bit of a conversation about reforming. I had to have 4 models in contact with the Gortak, which meant I had to reform like so. I couldn't move out of that formation, really, because the war platform had to be in the middle as well.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit restricting as to what I could reform to get in the front. But that combat was still a little bit dicey, to be honest. It wasn't as nice.
Because if you were if you were in your old one, you would have only had 3 because you would have been 7 wide, which means you've got 2 on each, right?
Yeah.
2 on each side, and then the big old Mert in the middle.
Yeah.
So if you'd have gone like that, he's bigger. The big old Mert is wider than the Gortak, sorry.
Yeah.
So there's no way to get 4 models unless you do it like this.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
That's pretty much exactly that. Yeah. So yeah.
Technical speak as well.
I kind of followed it. I was just smiling and nodding. Really.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I do that to myself sometimes.
Kill the chariots in the middle. No contest there. And I'm not scared of the Minotaurs charging. So I pivot, reform, whatever you want to call it. It's his turn.
Scared.
So
yeah.
I'm not scared of the no Minotaurs. So yeah, I'm ready for them. So
don't care.
Bring it on, Minotaurs. The Minotaurs do charge, and the Pumper Chariot joins him, which is fine. That doesn't make it too much different, I don't think. Gets a few more impact hits. But
sure, yeah.
I'm still confident in my strength 4 militants. They're defensive skill 5 as well now because of Know Thine Enemy, and they're offensive 6, I think, with lightning reflexes. They're attacking
Hit
first.
on 2s, wound on 4s, is it? 3s.
Wounding on 3s, yeah.
Would have been before Stone Skin, right?
Yes, absolutely. And again, Druidism does its job because I have to dispel something, or I can't dispel everything. So I stop.
And you're constantly choosing Healing Waters to dispel.
I am. I figure that I think Oaken Throne is off maybe somewhere, or maybe he didn't cast it this time. But either way, Fortitude 5 up is still not great. So
yeah,
because he's stopping Glory of Gold. This is his turn anyway. I can't cast Glory of Gold. So yep. Up here, the throwing weapons a little bit unlucky. He had quite a lot of shots, and he only rolled 1 6 to wound. Okay. He's hitting on 6s because he's long range. No, moved. I think. But any 6s to wound, and they get through because I've got no armor. He was a bit unlucky, only to get 1, but nonetheless, just tickling the Leviathan. That's why they don't care about Minotaurs charging them. I've lost 12 models, which is fine. You know, it's not rubbish, but
yeah,
there was 1 Minotaur left on 1 wound. The champion had 1 wound left at the end of that combat, and this was something that I don't know how many times I've possibly done this wrong, right? But I won the combat by 2 or 3. Both the Minotaur and the Pumper Chariot failed their break test, and I had to obviously wanted to pursue. But I had to choose which unit I pursued.
Yeah, you wouldn't have got both of them.
Exactly. I think I might have... I can't remember a specific example, but I think I might have done it wrong in the past because I rolled a 10 for my pursue, and that was enough to catch both. But the Chariot rolled 10 as well. The Minotaurs were a lot less, and I chose to go after the Minotaurs, so that was good.
Sure.
Because I suppose if I'd rolled a 10, but I was going after the Chariot, the Minotaurs rolling less would have stopped me, wouldn't they? No, the Chariot dies on impact straight away, doesn't it?
I think so, yeah.
So I would have still got the Chariot if I was going after it. But
yeah.
Either way, the Minotaur was more points. But it ended up with me having to move back an inch because I didn't catch the Chariot, because I didn't go after the Chariot, even though I rolled the same as it. That just seemed a bit weird to me. It is right.
It wouldn't be an inch. You would stop where the Minotaur stopped, don't you? Would have stopped. Not rather. I thought you would stop it because basically you go after it and stop where the lowest one would be. Is how I would.
Oh, possibly. Possibly, yeah.
Put it in the chat, guys. What do you think? Yeah. You're after 2 units. You pick one. One rolls a 6. One rolls a 10. Where do you stop?
When I rolled a 10, yeah. I stopped 9 inches because I couldn't stop it within an inch of the Chariot. That's how I did it.
My inkling is that you would stop 6 inches.
Sure. Well, let's hope the Minotaurs rolled a 9.
Where the Minotaurs? yeah, sure.
I don't think they did, but you know, yeah. There's that.
Mopping up now, mate.
Totally, yeah. Definitely. Yeah, I mean, you know, that's great. That's so
Your
good.
turn next.
Yeah, my turn next as well. So
brutal.
Yeah. Up here, the Gortak kills my general.
Oh, I was going to say, he kills 2. What the hell?
Yeah, I know, totally. Yeah. And I do 4 wounds to the Gortak, so that's going nicely. I'm steadfast. I've now got rank bonus. I think, was I still testing?
It's 4-4 at this point,
and I've got ranks.
You win. You win by no. You haven't got ranks.
Oh, no, I haven't got ranks. No,
you win by a standard, I think.
Possibly, yeah. But he passed, so he didn't.
He's stubborn anyway. Gore-Tex is stubborn, I believe.
Are they? Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, so there's that. He was tempted to do a reform with his Gortak to face sideways, which would have meant he wasn't on the hill, so that my Kraken couldn't charge. I think there's a better picture of it in a minute. There you go, my charges. But he decided that Gortak was probably dead anyway, so there wasn't a lot of point in that. You'll notice, we'll go top left, he's only got 1 unit of Wild Horns now.
Yeah, Terror.
Terror, baby.
What? They're terrified.
My Leviathan charges that unit at the top left because it was closest to running off the board, basically. The board, there's a little bit more board out of the camera shot.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, they only needed to roll like a 5 on their flea and they would be off. They did pass. They did failed their terror check, ran off the board. I passed my redirect, and I declared the charge against this Wildhorn unit. They actually took a panic test when the other Wildhorns went off the board.
Yeah.
Unit destroyed, and they passed that, and that meant they didn't have to take a terror check for the Leviathan charging.
Because it's same phase, bro.
Same phase, you got it. But they did 2 wounds with a stand and shoot, which is quite good. But so now he's only got 1 scoring unit in my deployment zone, which is awesome for me. And I've obviously got my militant unit now bearing down on his deployment zone. I had to be a little bit careful with my my situation here. I could charge the Kraken into the Gortak, but what I wanted to do was get the Pumba Chariot out the way or further into the deployment zone for my militants.
Okay. What turn was this?
This is my turn 5. Yeah, my turn 5. So bottom of the second, basically.
Yeah.
And the Pumba Chariot was in the way of my potential charge on the Raiders on the right-hand side with my militants.
Okay.
My Hydra can't see anything because it's stupid placement. But yes, so I wanted to basically get the Pumba Chariot out the way so I could consider that. But I then so basically Kraken charges first. Pumba Chariot is fleeing, has to roll, goes there.
Yeah.
I then have to decide what I'm doing about it, and I declare the charge with my militants on the Pumba Chariot.
Yeah.
He rolls barely anything, and for the flee.
Yeah.
And this is where he's already fled to, because he's got to flee.
Yeah.
He's like literally gone from the Kraken, then gone from the militants. And I have to decide with my militants, am I going to redirect into the Raiders, or am I going to pursue the Pumba Chariot? Or am I going to charge the Hydra into the Pumba Chariot to get the Pumba off the board? And I have a real think about this one, because this is quite important. And I eventually realise that I want to do the charge with the militants and catch the Pumba Chariot in his deployment zone.
Yeah.
And that's what I stick with. So I don't declare the charge with the Hydra. The Hydra is just sitting there doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
But it means I get my militants into his deployment zone. There's the 12-inch marker. It's now 1-1 in scoring for breakthrough.
That's fairly risky if you charge your Kraken first.
Yeah.
I understand. Obviously, you change your mind halfway through the charge phase and what you're going to do with them, but because that means your Kraken could have not got a redirect.
Sure, it was discipline 8. Yeah, absolutely. No, it was. But I actually figured the militants could deal with the Gortak. I didn't need the Kraken. And you'll see from this, the Kraken rolls a 1-1-3 on its charge in the Gortak and failed to get into the Gortak. So the militants are very much on their own against that Gortak.
Yeah.
Leviathan gets in at the top. I think it was auto.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, potentially it was.
How many wounds does Leviathan have?
It's got 5 left at this point. So
5 left. It's got 8 in total.
It's got 8 in total. Yeah.
Blimey.
Yeah, it's got no armor and it's
res
5.
Sorry, I take back my previous comment. That won't be interesting.
You'll see.
Yeah.
But I just moved the Hydra around to just look pretty in front of the Raiders because I'm not getting the Raiders now because I'm staying in the deployment zone and they just run around the side of it. But either way.
Sure.
There's that situation. It's not a contest up there. My Leviathan actually did 6 attacks. It rolls 2d3 attacks and I got 6 attacks.
Yeah, and then you got...
First time it's ever done that. I've always complained about the Leviathan, always rolling 2 attacks. This time, it rolled 6. And I've got D6 strength 4.
Yeah.
Only strength 4. Stomps. I killed enough. He wasn't steadfast. No, he wasn't. It was game over. I actually ran him down as well. So
yeah, you need to do 6 wounds in total to
exactly break steadfast. Yeah, and
he would only even then it's only 7
just
or 6. Yeah.
So even if that goes on another turn, this is my turn 5. So we've still got 2 more turns of combat to go after that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was nice. But that Leviathan has basically won me the objective.
Yeah,
because he's killed 2 scoring units. So
he shouldn't have put him that close. Although I guess
that was the corner. He couldn't move him any.
Was it? Okay.
He was right in the corner. It was just.
Or put him 1 in each side then.
Maybe
my
maybe.
next.
Yeah, although I had a
Proxy.
Kraken over there, so
Yeah, it wasn't facing the back corner, was it?
no.
Could have got it.
I think basically I shocked Tommy a little bit by moving the Leviathan up there in my turn 4.
Yeah.
So it wasn't anywhere close. In my turn 3, the Leviathan was nowhere near that corner. My turn 4,
Yeah.
it moved up. My turn 5, it killed them. So
they ain't gonna kill it. Not
No.
with 8 wounds. I didn't realise it had 8 wounds. They ain't gonna kill that.
No. Yeah. So I was really pleased with that
Smashed.
little manoeuvre from that.
Yeah, man.
This is funny.
I'm well happy.
I bet you are. So
Gorturk.
my militants attack first, right? Because they're agility 5, obviously. I rolled to hit with however many hits it was. I hit 20 times. 20. I don't think I even had 20 attacks. But I hit 20 times. I am wounding on 6s because he's res 5. I'm only strength 3 at this point because I've got no spells. So I'm wounding on 6s. 20 hits. I rolled 1 6. I can't complain. I was rolling battle focus 6s all day long in this battle, and I was rolling pretty well overall. But man, I only wounded once. He kills 5 with his 1 remaining wound left.
Yeah.
I am steadfast.
5's actually pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm steadfast leadership 8.
You should have been steadfast, I don't think.
Oh,
well, no, you should have in this. But what I mean is, he should have done enough. He should have done way more than 5 wounds.
Oh, sure.
Because he's got D6 stomp and then 6 attacks with battle focus and reroll all that.
Sure.
Jazz.
Yeah.
He should be doing like 8 wounds, 9 wounds. So.
Oh, actually, no. In the combat before, my militants actually did 5 wounds to him, but because he killed my general, he healed a wound.
Yeah.
So I was actually close to killing him the turn before.
Sure.
But yeah, you're right. I got lucky to have steadfast here. But they failed it anyway.
But they failed it, right? So
yeah.
BSB. Put them in the same
BSBs,
unit.
You can't have them in the same unit. The Temple of Gates can only go 1 in each unit. So.
Okay.
And then I believe. Wait a minute. Are we on the end? Yeah. Look at that. We're on the last picture.
The hell? Where is he?
Where's who? The Gortak.
Yeah.
This is the last picture actually. But in Tommy's last turn, his turn 6, the Gortak then charged my militants, and he rolled a double 1 for his charge, which meant my militants with Divine Altar got away. So in the pursue and the subsequent charge of that Gortak on my militants, Tommy rolled 1 1 1 2. So he moved 5 inches in a.
Oh, so the Gortak isn't dead at this point.
Well, it is. It isn't in his turn 5. No, in his turn 6, it isn't. This is a picture of after my turn 6.
After your turn 6.
Yeah, so I've skipped his turn 5 really in terms of pictures.
Right, because there's no.
Because in my turn 6, the Kraken is able to charge the Gortak and kill it. Finally.
Oh.
Yeah, and in terms of like.
Well, there you go.
Everything else, I just leave my militants in his scoring deployment zone to win the objective.
Yeah.
But the other interesting thing, which actually is a fair amount of points in terms of, overall, is that the Temple militants fail to rally on a discipline 8, and so he gets half points for them.
Yeah, because they're not.
They're not decimated. No, they need eight models to be. They're on 9 models. Those who can count. So yeah, if they'd lost 1 more model, then he would have got.
Is it definitely
points.
8? Is it not 9? Because of
I had 29.
But isn't it the unit? Unit wound pool.
Maybe, but yeah, you're probably right. Yeah,
you might have a bit. You might have a bit more on that.
Yeah.
But, although
the Temple of Gate had 3 on her own, and she was originally. But
the Divine Altars. I suppose. Yeah.
I suppose she was already. She was already dead. Though.
Yeah,
she's dead.
Yeah,
so she probably won't count.
Yeah, you're probably right. So
either way, having 9 Temple militants was enough anyway.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
What's the save on that altar?
5 up Aegis, I think.
Got an Aegis, right? Okay.
It's got maybe 4 up armor or 5 up armor. 5 up, maybe. It's not great.
Yeah, Aegis basically.
Yeah.
What's it give to the unit?
Just -1 res to themselves and to the enemy.
To the enemy, right?
And 9 attacks. It's got 9 attacks. To the 3,
enemy.
AP 1. And if you
but it's that's like basically in horde formation with things, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's
It
9
replaces
attacks on something, isn't
it
too
replaces 9 models because of fighting extra rank. So
Yeah. All right, no, cool.
yeah. But yeah,
Good game. Good
really
win.
good game, really enjoyable. Tommy was absolutely fantastic throughout it.
Yeah, he's a good old boy.
The result, because of the Leviathan being amazing in the top left, was a pretty convincing in terms of numbers 17-3 to the Dread Elves, which is awesome. Winning objective breakthrough against beasties.
What would it be if it had got half the points, the other half points, and saved his Gortek?
And saved his Gortak. Well, that would be
his
490 less for me. 490 less for me from the Gortak.
You would have got half points for it though, so
and it had been
I
another.
guess only 250 less.
It would have been another 350 points from my units.
So 500. So probably 1, maybe 2 points.
I think it would have still been a win for the Dread Elves, but probably.
Oh yeah, we would have
13
like 15
rather than 17 or something.
I don't think it'd be that much. Maybe 15. I reckon.
Yeah.
With that difference, but yeah.
But I said to Tommy, the score 17-3 doesn't reflect how the battle actually was, because it was really all decided in the last few turns. You know, the militants going on a rampage and getting into the deployment zone, the Leviathan killing his scoring units. I mean, the Gortak swing actually went against me. You know, if that hadn't have happened, if I had have actually killed the Gortak with my 20 hits, needing 2 sixes to kill it.
You just needed one more.
One more 6 and I would have killed it. But like I say, can't complain because my battle focus was hot tonight. You know, that would have probably made it a 20-0 without losing them, maybe. But great game, really enjoyable. Tommy was superb on UB and throughout. Didn't slow it down at all, despite being a rookie. If anyone wants to play him, I'd highly encourage it. It was a really good, fun night. And thanks to all the Ninja guys who joined us on the Discord as well. It was really cool having them on the banter patrol. Really, really enjoyable night. And Dread Elves roll on with a nice victory. So
yeah, man.
Yeah, awesome. I'm going to make some changes to the list, though, for the next battle.
Tweaks.
A few tweaks. Just want to try out a few things. The next battle will still be using the old points. Because that was played very close to being.
Yeah, get him in, mate. I like it.
The Dread Elf train is rolling. So yeah.
Yeah, man.
All right, wicked. We'll leave it there. This has been a fairly long one. And lots to say about Dread Elves. I can't stop talking about them, to be honest. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Give us some comments on all the things that we had going on. And yeah, we'll see you for the next one.
Peace. See you later.